Hello, I'm Jennifer Ellijan. I am an indie author of 3 complete YA fantasy series, Threats of Sky and Sea, the Lady Pirate series, and my latest complete duology is the Cinderella Assassin duology within the Fairy Tale Lies series. I'm currently working on my first adult contemporary fantasy romance, and this is a vlog of 3 days working on that because I had a 3-day work week this week because my daughter's last day of school was Wednesday. Let's get into it. Good morning, it's Monday. I look like this because I just woke up. It is 5:51 right now. I actually woke up a little later than I planned to because I forgot to set an alarm, but that's okay. I'm gonna try to see if I could get in a few hundred words before I have to get myself dressed and get the kids up. Let's see how this goes. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I got about 600 words. It's 6:30 now, so I have to go get dressed before my kids are up. Okay, we are dressed for the gym. That is half the battle. I don't really feel like going today, but I am trying to work my way up to going 4 days a week. I have been going 3 for a while. So my ideal schedule is going Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, so that I have like the weekend off from weightlifting and Wednesday as a rest day workout wise too. So we're dressed, we're going, we're doing the thing. Right. Anyway, my daughter is up already, so I gotta get her ready, and then I'll get my son up and we'll head to school.
Including a special edition podcast episode that was originally recorded with Sam Cameron.
We did it! Let's go home. Oh no! We are back in my office, and I wrote myself a to-do list in my planner. I don't really use a planner in like a pretty way. I pretty much just keep a pad. It's like just keeping a to-do list on my desk basically, but I like that I have it segmented out by day so that I can put events that I know are happening that day on the day. I have said day a lot in this little clip. Let me put this here so you stop shaking. Okay, excellent. So I basically just use it like a to-do list, and the to-do list for today is kind of long. I would be okay if I didn't knock off everything. It's a lot of smaller stuff, so like making an Instagram post should actually be fairly quick because I'm trying this new service where basically she creates all of the different templates in Canva, and then you can just customize it to fit your vibe a little bit more. So it saves me a lot from having to try to like move the different graphics around. She sources different like free stock images so that you just kind of have to look through something a little more curated than searching for hours on like Dupe and Unsplash and all those free stock photo sites. So I've only been using that for like a week, but I really like it. It's kind of pricey, so I resisted it for a while, but I don't know, I kind of got to a point where I was like, I am not enjoying that aspect because it takes so much time and energy away from me. So I'm getting a little bit of my time back with this. Anyway, I would like to make an Instagram post today. I filmed like B-roll to do a reel with. I think that's what I'm gonna do now. I took social media off of my phone because I was just scrolling too much. So I have to airdrop it to my iPad. And edit it on there, which is not like the smoothest thing, so that does take a while, but the trade-off is that like I don't have the time suck of like hours scrolling anymore, so that's good. I Another thing that I did is I paid a company to do a content pull from my Assassin Cinderella series for me, and they just sent that back to me yesterday. So I'd like to at least like respond to their message that they sent it over, and let them know that I will be looking it over in the next couple of days and, thanking them for the service. The idea to use that for is just to like have an easy place to grab hooky bits from the books to put on Instagram posts, put on reels, and hopefully it pays for itself over time. I think I'm going to do a reel now because I'm not going to write yet. I have a write together in the writing community that I'm in. I realized today they have one scheduled for 2 o'clock. Normally I can't make 2 o'clock. I typically pick my kids up from daycare at 2:30. But my daughter has something that I have to pick them up at 3 today. And next week they'll be in summer camp. I don't know. My schedule's super weird right now. So I'm going to wait and do the write together at 2. That should get me a couple hundred words. I would be happy with that. I don't tend to have like huge word count days. And if I do, then I can't get the mental energy up to write for several days. So I wrote 600 this morning. If I got to like 800-900 for the day, I would be super happy with that. So we're going to write at 2, call with Agent Alex at 1. I also am in the middle of this Write Better Faster course. If you're familiar with Becca Syme, it's through her. And there's like new lessons up today that I would like to read. I need to check my Facebook ads. So yeah, let me edit this reel because the internet on my computer is off, so I can do that on my iPad. Then when my internet turns back on, I have Freedom automatically scheduled to like turn off my internet weekdays from 10:30 to 11:30, so that it typically would force me to write or do something like this. But since I know I'm gonna do the write together later, I feel like I'm just going around in circles and I've been talking for almost 6 minutes. Okay, let me get to this. Okay, wow, my glasses are so smudgy, I need to clean them. Reel's done, and it's 11:33, so that means that Freedom has let me have internet access again on my computer. So I'm going to check my Facebook ads now, I think, and then I will try to do an Instagram post or 2, depending on time. I do need to eat lunch somewhere in the day also, so probably sometime between noon and 1 o'clock is when I'll go downstairs and figure something out. Okay, so the Facebook ads are not that bad. Do I wish I was seeing more from them? Yes. However, my cost per click has not gone up much. For one of my ads, which is like a character art one, that's the like image that I'm using on it, my cost per click is 14 cents, which I feel like is pretty good. And the one that I'm using, like a close-up of the book cover and then like a smaller version of the book cover. God, please don't judge me, these are so dirty. That one, the cost per click is about 20 cents. I don't know, I feel like that is pretty good. I think I'm gonna keep them running. The budget is only set to like $3 a day, which like some people buy coffee for that much, like spend $6 a day on coffee, and I don't drink coffee. So this is not a good way to make a business decision, but that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I have a lot of complicated thoughts on this because like ultimately like writing is very fulfilling to me and I just want to keep doing it, and I do want to like put my stories out there regardless of how much money they make. Would it be nice if they brought in money? Yeah, it would be so nice. But also like people spend money on hobbies, you know? People play sports and sports cost money. They run marathons and like they have to buy all the like running things and marathon entry fees and travel fees for said marathons. So I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But like, do you see where I'm going with this? Yeah. Okay. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm gonna make an Instagram post now. Goodbye. All right, made my little post. This is it. I think it's super cute, and I'm so appreciative of the fact that this took me like 10 to 15 minutes when it would have taken me longer if I had to make this template from scratch. So now I have to download this from my iPad, schedule it to post, or just post it probably, and yeah, then I'm gonna go downstairs and eat a quick lunch before my call. Maybe do a little makeup so that I feel a little more human when I talk to Alex. Okay, so little change of plans. Call is canceled, and that is okay. We are gonna pivot. There is actually, I'm trying to find more like YouTube, AuthorTube, like live streams because the body doubling is really helpful for me. So there's one starting now, and I'm gonna hop on and see if I can add some words when they start to sprint. And then I will also do the write together. So with those two combined, I might get over 1,000 words today, which is a higher word count day for me. And that'll be great. And I have to put laundry away today too, but I'll probably do that when I have the kids home. Yep. Okay, I added 600 words during the write together, and then I added 300 words during the like YouTube live stream. So I'm at a total about 1,500 for the day, which is a really high word count day for me. So I'm super happy. Yeah, now I have to go get my kids. So that's probably it for today. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning. I didn't get any writing done before the kids were up, which is my normal preference on a weekday. I just slept really bad. Went to bed at a normal time. Hang on, it's going crooked again. I went to bed at a normal time, but first the dogs wanted to go out at like 1 a.m. And then I woke up at 3 because I'd had a nightmare that I was in an apartment, like I brought the dogs with me somewhere, and it was, and that place was an apartment that was 18 stories up, and then there was a fire. So I'm like calling the dogs and trying to like usher them and run down the stairs to get away from this fire. And yeah, so I woke up. It took me like an hour to fall back asleep after that. And then I guess this isn't like technically a nightmare, like my life was never in danger, but it was just kind of a very uncomfortable is not the right word. It was a weird dream. Like
I was at a hotel. The grounds outside of the hotel were flooding and rats were coming out of the pipes.
Anyway, when my alarm went off at 5, which I usually get up between like 5 and 5:30 and try to like do some writing between 5:30 and 6:30 before I have to get the kids ready for school, I was just like, no, I was awake too much in the middle of the night, and then the sleep I did have was very restless. So I slept until like 6:15. What time is it now? Yeah, 6:37. So I went downstairs, I took the dogs out. I got my mornings of fizz that my husband always puts in the fridge for me. I do have kind of a headache. That's not unusual for me when I have a night of dreams like this. I will probably take some ibuprofen and get the kids up. I got dressed for the gym. So after I get the kids ready for school, take them to school, go to the gym, and I have the chiropractor. I have to pick up a little plant for my son's plant day at school. And that's the plan for today.
Aaron said you've been going to the 5:30.
Okay, we've been to the gym. We've dropped the kids off at school, not in that order. Went to the chiropractor, picked up plants for my kids from Home Depot. Made a call. We're thinking about switching pest control services. I'm just kind of tired and I'm really sweaty, so now I have to get clean and then we'll see what else we can knock out off of my list. Hello. Okay, we are dressed. We are clean. I have one more call I have to make to cancel our other pest control service because they're supposed to come quarterly. It's May. They haven't been here since November. So we're hiring someone else. And I don't know. I feel kind of tired. I don't know what I'm gonna dive into. I might dive into the Write Better Faster course that I'm taking because I don't want to fall behind in the lessons and have a lot to catch up on. And another one dropped yesterday or the day before. So I want to get that read today. Yeah, I'll go over my list when we sit down at my desk in a minute. Okay, let's talk about the day ahead, or realistically, the 2.5 hours ahead. This is kind of what happens to my days. I get into working out and exercise is important and I want to get that in, and I can't really do it when the kids are home. But then between that and errands and then, gotta shower after you work out, the day sometimes gets away from me. So I know I want to get a Substack / a mailing list newsletter sent out tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna do that first so I can get that scheduled and it's off my mind because I want it to hit tomorrow. It's a sentimental thing. My first book will have tomorrow's the 12th anniversary of when I published it, so I did a cute little personality quiz for the characters. So I want to put that out tomorrow. Then I think I'm gonna read over the course materials, which shouldn't take me too long. One of the assignments for this course is time tracking, so I need to update the time tracking that I've been doing from yesterday evening and today. Then after that, I will either break for lunch because hey, it's 11:45. I have to leave to pick up my kids at 2:15 today. Edit YouTube stuff at that point, or if my brain feels like it's firing a little bit more than it is currently, then I will do a little word sprint or two and I'll turn on the Freedom app for that because without body doubling, I am very, very highly distractible. I don't know why that took me so long. It's been an hour. This was pre-drafted. All I had to do was add a few links and a couple graphics. I'm annoyed that it took as long as it did, but hang on, I'll show you how cute it is. So this is the Substack preview, and this is character art I had commissioned many years ago. And then I did this cute little personality quiz. I don't know, I really like it. And I do have it formatted for Instagram. So now I'm gonna try to get that as a scheduled post for tomorrow. And then after that, I guess I need to eat lunch, and I've just gotten nothing done today. My daughter has her pre-K graduation tonight. So chances that I do any writing tonight by the time we get home from that and I get the kids through their whole bedtime routine and into bed are super slim. So I'm not thrilled with how my day has gone, but good morning. It's Wednesday. It's about 5:30. I am kind of shocked that I actually woke up. We had my daughter's pre-K graduation yesterday. And not that I went to bed late, but it was just, we were sitting outside. The kids were overtired by the time we got home and got them in bed. I feel very tired today. But
didn't write it all yesterday. So let's try and get some words down. Yesterday was just a day. In addition to all of like the end of the school year stuff, I just had an off day. Yesterday I had those nightmares. Couldn't find my favorite pair of leggings. So stupid, but I really don't know where they are and I'm annoyed about it. And then I had credit card fraud. I got like an alert, a text alert from my credit card company when I was sitting at the graduation, for a company that sells like chewable Viagra, kind of. So yeah, I had to deal with that when I got home. So I also today have to put on my list to try to figure out what of any like automatic billing I have that's gonna hit in the next 7 to 10 business days and switch that to another card, because I had to cancel my credit card and they told me that the other one won't be here for 7 to 10 business days. So yeah, anyway, let's do some writing. Okay, we got about 600 words. They're really awful. I don't love them. I am really just trying to remind myself that this is like a 0 draft discovery draft. I am trying to figure out the plot. I don't know everything yet. So yeah, I have a lot of like half-finished scenes that I think there might be like something there but I think they need either to be combined with other scenes that I have or to be fleshed out more. But either way, we moved the draft along this morning and that is a victory. And now I need to get dressed.
You gonna go? You coming? Okay, let me do a really quick update. It's 10:58. I'm hopping on for a guided visualization Zoom in the Tenacious writing community that I'm a member of. So I should get a few more words. I've been to the gym, I've showered, packed up a Depop order. That's pretty much it. This is how the day usually goes. You know, by the time I'm sitting back down, if I've showered after the gym, it's about 11 o'clock. So I made sure to turn off the automatic freedom session that I usually run from 10:30 to 11:30 so that I could log on for this because I knew I'd still get words in a pretty focused manner if I am like body doubling with other people. And I'm looking forward to like the guided visualization aspect to help me kind of like get in the right headspace for it. And yeah, I will check in with you guys after. That was so good. I don't like to record during those calls because, you know, no one else consented to being on this YouTube video, but that was really good. It was a guided visualization and it was like a heated conversation. And I knew that this is what like the topic of the guided visualization today. So this morning when I was writing, I thought about working on this scene. I worked on something else instead. I purposely left this one for now because I thought it would help me get a bit in the headspace for it better. It's like the lead up to like it's not the first spicy scene. That's the first spicy scene where they're together. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, so I kind of wrote the big, oh, you want me, I want you moment. And then started like to get into it. I added, let me look at my writing history on Scrivener now. I added about 400 words during that. So I'm at about 1,000 for the day. I feel pretty good. I'm not starving, but I do need to break for lunch soon, but I am going to keep going with this a little bit longer since I'm like in the flow a little bit. And I don't want to cut myself off and then try to come back into it later and it just not be going as well. So I'm going to go a little longer on this. And then I got to eat some lunch and do some other stuff on my list. What I've crossed off for the day so far, I mean, I'm writing shower on here because that is a natural next step of going to the gym. So gym, shower, 500 words. That was all like the 500 words. I think I did 600, but that was 5:30 to 6:30 this morning. Got ready for the day, take kids to school, gym, shower, and then hopped on for the visualization write-in. I just really like to cross things off of my list. So I did also sell something on Depop yesterday. So I packed that up and shipped that out. So I get to cross that off. And yeah, okay. I'm gonna get back into this now. Okay, so my brain is actually, this is why I don't have big word count days. First of all, I'm most productive the earlier I can work, unless there's just like a scene that I'm really into, which in a first draft, not so much. So I didn't actually add that much more to the scene, the spicy scene I was working on, because I got to a point that I was like, which direction do I want this to go? And I have 3 different ways that I think it could go. I think I'm going with my first instinct. I think I got in my own head too much, but I am gonna like just take a beat and pop back into it probably tomorrow morning. So I'm switching gears now. What I've had on my list for the, like, since Monday and today's Wednesday, was to look over the content pull that I paid for book 1 of my like Assassin Cinderella duology. So I'm doing that now. I am a little overwhelmed by this, but I was more overwhelmed with the idea of like rereading the book and trying to do this myself in an organized manner. So they made me an Airtable, and I think that this is worth what I paid for it in spades. So like here is the quote written out, here is the screenshot, and then they've got emotion and like what I could potentially use it for. So this is really helpful to me. I feel like this will be much faster to make like quick little reels with, you know, like hooky bits, or like if I want to do a static post or a carousel post, making a graphic on Instagram, it will be easier to find a quote this time because they've done this poll and I can search by like the vibe that I'm looking for. So anyway, this is so helpful. I don't know if I'm going to use it today because my brain is just kind of shutting off, which is annoying because I have in theory like another hour that I could work, but I'm gonna have to see what I have the headspace for. I think I'm gonna call it here for this vlog because it's the end of the day. My kids are home. They are jamming out downstairs. I have actually accomplished pretty much my whole to-do list that I started on Monday and, you know, what I added onto it throughout the week. The only thing I have that I haven't ticked off the list there is a new lesson dropped in the course that I'm taking. So I will get that read between today and tomorrow. But this is kind of the end of my work week because my daughter is home with me the next 2 days. So yeah, thanks for watching.